guys, and welcome to a bit of a different video today. I got a couple of requests when I was doing my What's on My iPhone video to do a kind of walkthrough of how I use Trello and Toggl to organise myself for university. So I thought that would be what we should do today. So here is the Toggl interface. And here is the Trello one. I usually always keep these two tabs open on my computer no matter what I'm doing, just so that I always remember that I'm supposed to be using them. So with that said, let's just get started. As you can see here, I have 4 kind of Trello boards, as they're called, one for each of my modules, just titled with the name of the module. I have some colours going on here, and that is a Trello feature called labels. Yellow is for reading, blue is for formative assessments, orange is for assignments, and then I also have some more, if I can remember where I find them. There we go. Here you see all my labels that I have going on, but I mostly use the yellow, the orange, and the dark blue one. I just list, anything I have going on. I list all readings, all homework that is set. In this module I have mostly reading. Here I have homework and some assignments. Here I also have some assignments, and here there's just lots of reading. How I set up my Trello at the beginning of the year was just I went through the module handbook for every module and then wrote down literally everything that it said that we would be working on that was due, and then I just sorted it according to obviously when it's due, but I have the most important bits on the top, so I remember that I have to work on them continuously. So if we go into one of these, I've been working a lot on this assignment. Here you can see I've set a due date on it. I've worked on a checklist which I've forgotten about, so I've actually done this. But you can also add attachments. So for this assignment I have to write a commentary on an article, so I've added the article there, so I can just open that wherever I am. And you can also add checklists, as I said, so I could have added here, finish writing commentary or whatever. But one of the things I like the most is the fact that it has this button, and if I click this button, let's do that just to show you, comes up here. I can add projects, so management accounting, and then summative assessment. And now if I go into Toggl, you can see that there's a timer going. So if I click that button, it starts a new activity on Toggl with the title of the kind of card that I've used on Trello. So I'm gonna end this obviously and delete it. So that's how I combine them. So by looking at this, I get a really good overview of how much work I am doing and what I'm spending my time on. And to get an even better overview, there is this dashboard. So I can see how much I did, each day of this week, kind of divided by project. On my projects are obviously my subjects, and then also what I've been spending the most time on. So obviously my 2 assignments are the ones I've been spending the most time on. And you can also go back to last week, the week before, a week before. So this gives me a really good overview, especially this one, to see kind of how I am dividing my time in between my modules, because obviously I want to make sure that I don't completely neglect one module, because that would be very, very bad for my results. And that is just about it. I've listed my projects as my modules, and then I can also see how many hours I've spent on them in total. I also have one for work when I have to apply for jobs and stuff, but I barely use that. So that is how I use Trello and Toggl for my university purposes, and I would so highly recommend it. It is really nice to see kind of specifically where your time goes and what you spend the most time on, and also what modules you spend the most time on, because as I said, you don't want to be neglecting anything. And Trello is just a super good way of keeping everything in one place. And that is how I use Toggl and Trello. I hope that this has been useful, and I hope that, if you have any questions whatsoever and you want to start using these, but you need your questions answers, that you will just pop them in the comments, because I will definitely help you out in any way that I can. This has been so useful to me, and I definitely want to let others know how useful it is. If you enjoyed this video and it was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to stay around and get updated when I post my other videos, definitely hit the subscribe button so that they'll pop right into your subscription box every Wednesday and Saturday. For now, this is it, and I will see you on Saturday.